Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Lone Wolf 902. In today's video, I'm out on another solo overnighter. Tonight we're using a canvas hot tent, and I gotta say the temperatures aren't too bad right now. That sweater was getting really hot, but it is going to come into use a little later on this evening because it's going down to 4 degrees Celsius tonight. So for my system, to bring you guys up to speed, I do have a waxed canvas bedroll material that I've made at home. I'm going to use this as my ground sheet. For my insulation, I've got a wool blanket that I'm basically just going to drape over top of me. And I've got my large titanium wood stove plus my solo tent. So that stove should keep that tent ripping hot. We've got plenty of hardwood and softwood around this area to collect. So I think it's going to be a pretty decent evening. I am on the edge of a lake, I should mention that. I do have a very large lake behind me, so I have plenty of fresh water. And there should be quite a cool breeze whipping off that thing tonight. So we're going to keep that stove nice and hot. As you can see, it's already quite breezy and windy out today. Like I said, the temperatures, got a bug buzzing around my face. The temperatures are going to get a little bit warmer as we get closer to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they're going to taper down quite a bit. So the high temperature today is 12 degrees Celsius. That's kind of why I worked up a sweat with that sweater on. And like I said, a low of 4 degrees Celsius overnight with the possibility of rain. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of my tent area set up, get this on the ground, get my wool blanket in there, get everything situated, and then probably start on some firewood prep and a coffee. All right, guys, I got my cup of coffee all brewed up. Gonna sit back and enjoy this for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna start on supper because it is getting quite late in the day. I did go and collect a few other pieces of firewood off camera, and I think I've got enough. Try to get that smoke out of my face. I think I've got enough firewood to last me for the entire night. Over behind the wood stove, you can see there's a healthy stack, and that's a small tent for a big stove, so I think I'm probably only gonna need to run one chunk of wood, probably per hour. I don't figure I'll need much more than that. It is gonna get cold out, but it's gonna be very hot inside of that tent, so hopefully we will see. I do just have one wool blanket, as you see behind me. I've got my bedroll. I'm gonna be sleeping right on the ground. If it is hot inside of the tent, I may put the wool blanket, double it up, and put it underneath of me if I don't need it on top. But it shouldn't be too uncomfortable. The ground is kind of softish dirt, and there's a little bit of duff and pine needles, so I should be just fine. I've slept in worse conditions, that's for sure. So I'm gonna enjoy my cup of coffee. I'm probably gonna reposition my seat somewhere else so I'm not directly in the smoke, because it seems to be going that way an awful lot. But like I was saying, I'm gonna enjoy my cup of coffee, and then I'm gonna start on supper. All right, guys, dinner is served. This is a massive, massive meal. So let me explain what I've got going on here. I've got yellow onion, I've got green onion, I've got jalapeno, I got shiitake mushrooms, I've got artificial crab meat because I had to pack it in, I didn't want it going bad. I've got tofu, I got a lot going on. I got a lot of stuff in here. Garlic, bok choy, celery, and I even brought cottage cheese to put on top with a little bit of paprika. Absolutely awesome. This is probably the only meal that I've had all day. I'm gonna eat all of this and I'm gonna enjoy it. Woo! Try some tofu. Oh wow. I cooked that tofu with all the spice and the broth, so it really sucked in the flavor. Awesome. And that cottage cheese, that little bit of fat mixed in with the broth. Oh, the texture, absolutely awesome. So I'm gonna kick back, eat my supper. That mushroom was awesome. I'm gonna kick back and eat my supper, sip on my IPA. I did bring one IPA, so I'm gonna enjoy that. Campfire, eat all of this, and I'll check in with you guys as soon as I'm done. All right, guys, supper's all done, and I gotta say, it was awesome. Really, really good. I am completely stuffed right now. Very, very full. I think I had all my calories for today and tomorrow in one sitting, so I'm pretty full. I feel good though. It was really good, really tasty. It's extremely quiet out here right now. I mean, I haven't heard any noises other than the birds and the fire. Extremely peaceful. I was down sitting on the rocks after I washed out my walk and just listening to the birds echoing across the lake. It was pretty awesome. So I've got my wood stove all ready to go for tonight. I did cut up a few more pieces of oak that I found laying around, some nice round logs. I brought one in, and that's going to be my bedtime log. I'm going to toss that in there. And I don't imagine I'll burn through all this evening. That's a lot of wood, but I'd rather have more than less, because if I have some left over, I could take it outside, burn it tomorrow morning for breakfast or whatever. So I gotta say, it is very, very cozy inside of this solo teepee. I do have ample amount of room. I was kind of worried that it was going to be cramped in here, but I've got my backpack up here for my pillow. I've got a ton of room behind me. I mean, realistically, if I really wanted to, I could move all the firewood behind me and have that whole area open to sit. But it's not raining. I'm not too worried about any kind of weather coming in, so I'll leave it there for now. And yeah, I've got loads of room in here. So supper was good. Dishes are all cleaned up. Everything's kind of organized. You guys know how I like to organize camp before bedtime or before nightfall. There are still a lot of bears and stuff out in the area. It is still September, so we gotta pay attention to that and make sure everything's cleaned up so there's no kind of stray foods. And the food that I ate has got to smell. Okay, so all the scraps, the little tiny bits of food that were left in my walk, I ended up tossing them in the fire, and then I went down to the lake, washed it out, came back up, and took care of it all. So I got it hanging in a tree over probably about 50 yards from me. I got it hiked up there with some paracord, and it'll stay there till tomorrow morning, and then when I wake up, I'll go grab it, come over here, probably do my walk on the stove or maybe over the fire. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, just wanted to bring you guys up to speed, let you know what I've been doing for the last little bit, and I think I'm going to go sit by the fire and enjoy my beer for a little bit. So it's been probably about 2 hours now, and the sun has gone down. It's getting pretty dark out now. Got a fair bit of firewood over here that I think I'm probably going to burn up tonight, because I'm just going to pile it on there, get some nice light going, get some nice heat. The temperature has dropped quite a bit. I got my sweater back on, so feeling the cold. So I think I'm going to load all of this on the fire tonight, like I was just saying, and basically just hang out in front of the campfire for a few more hours until it's completely dark out, and then I'll probably jump inside of the tent, light the stove in there, and get it warmed up, and probably kick back and watch a movie on my phone as I usually do. So gonna have a little bit of movie time. I got some snacks, and hopefully have a nice, peaceful, warm night. So I think I'll be pretty good. I'm actually looking forward to it. My sweater, I think what I might do is I might lay on top of the blanket and my my wax canvas, and I might just use my sweater as a blanket. I might just toss it over top of me and kind of cozy up to the wood stove and stay nice and warm. So looking forward to seeing how that goes. I'll let you guys know in the morning. But it is quite quiet out. We just had a big flock of Canadian geese fly over. So getting to be that time of the year. Kind of hear them off in the distance still, actually. So, like I said, I'm just going to chill out by the fire for the rest of the evening. Just wanted to jump in and let you guys know what's going on. And I'm really enjoying myself. This nice cool temperature coming back in. Fall is my favorite time, and then of course winter is my second favorite time. So getting to be that time of the year where we can start getting out a little bit more and start doing more fun stuff. For me anyways, I really do enjoy winter camping. I enjoy cold weather camping, both in the hammock and the tent and tarps. So looking forward to this year. So like I said, that's the plan for tonight. I'm just going to kick around here and probably say peace out now and catch you guys in the morning, because I'm not sure if I'll jump back in a little later on or not. But yeah, peace out. I'll catch you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It is pushing about 7 a.m. right now, and I've been up for a little while. I've had my coffee, I've gone through that whole routine, and spent a bit of time down on the water's edge of the lake, sipping on my coffee and just enjoying the sound of quiet. Completely silent out here this morning. So I do have my wok on the stove with some water. I'm going to be making up 2 packs of oatmeal, and that's going to be my breakfast for this morning. So this stove last night, I was extremely warm. You can notice that I do have my wool blanket down. I did not use my wool blanket as a top cover. I laid on top of it like I am right now. So this stove was pumping out so much heat in this tent that I actually used my sweater. I took it off and I used that as a blanket on top of me. And then I used my backpack up there as a pillow. I was very, very warm all night. There was a point where I actually opened up the nose cone for about an hour or two, and then I jumped back out, closed it up for the night, and went to sleep. So, very, very warm night last night. Very warm. So, I'm gonna wait for this water to come up the temp and get my oatmeal in there and enjoy some breakfast. All right, guys, I'm all finished with my breakfast now. Stove's just about cooled down, and I gotta say that was really good. That was cocoa and sea salt oatmeal, just in case some of you were wondering why it was brown. It's cocoa, sea salt, really, really good stuff. I know it's a funky little mix, but it is really, really good. So, like I said, I'm all done breakfast. I'm gonna let the stove cool down so I can get it out of the tent and get it cooled down. One thing I'm wondering is I recently released a video on it's going to be a 3-part series on how to get started hot tenting. I'm really interested to hear if any of you have watched part 1 of that, because the date of filming right now, part 1 has been released. I don't know if part 2 will be released before this video is released, but part 1 is all on hot tents, and I did have this tent in that series. And this is a canvas solo tent. So I'm really interested to hear what you guys thought of the review. And if you guys haven't seen it, maybe you go over and check it out, or maybe you're already set up for hot tenting. There's a lot of good stuff in that. I covered a lot of topics and a lot of things that you may have known or may not have known. So really, really interested to hear your thoughts as to if that helped you or not, because that might lay the grounds for the future of doing some more explanational videos. So this tent, I'm also wondering what you guys think of this canvas solo tent. I personally love it. I cannot wait until wintertime to get this thing out in the snow. The one thing that I did yesterday, last night, if you guys notice, the fire pit is about 6 feet from where the front door peg is, because the front door's open now. The actual peg is directly behind my foot. So I didn't worry the entire night or the evening, the whole time I had the outside fire going. I didn't worry at all about any stray embers or sparks hitting that tent. After I crawled in the tent late last night, I loaded all the firewood onto the fire and I crawled inside and I left one little sliver of the door open so I can have the heat from the stove and the light from the stove and then the light from the fire outside. And I gotta tell you, it was an awesome experience. The canvas, it lets the light in from the fire, so you get that kind of flickering light all on the canvas walls, and then you got the warm light on the inside from the wood stove. That mixture between outside and inside fire was really awesome. But that is one thing I didn't have to do. I did not have to worry about stray embers or sparks, and I did have a few pop and hit the tent. I actually heard it. The fire popped and it landed on the tent and went tick, and I was like, well, didn't burn a hole. So that's pretty awesome. That's one thing I'm really looking forward to this wintertime, is having an outside fire close to the tent, opening up the door, hopefully watching the snow fall as we sit inside with the hot stove. So that's going to be awesome. Pretty chill morning today, both temperatures and relaxing. So just wanted to pick your guys' brain for a minute. I'm really interested to hear what you guys think of that series. And like I said, I'm all done breakfast. That stove is now cooling down. I'm going to get the chimney pipe off, get it out here, dump out whatever coals are remaining in the stove into the fire pit. And then I want to go down to the lake and get a wok full of water, come up, extinguish that, and then start my morning pack up. Okay guys, everything is packed inside of the pack, and I did have a little bit of a struggle this time where I have the big wool blanket and the wax canvas bedroll and my T1 stove. So I had to do some messing around off camera to get everything back in there the way I had it. So the stove did still fit in the hydration sleeve once I jammed it in there, and then I had to kind of open up the wool blanket after I rolled it up nice and neatly. I needed to open it to give the bag more form because it was packed in there too tight. So I just balled up the wool blanket, shoved it in. Now the bag's nice and full. So everything went really well. I feel I accomplished everything I wanted to this trip, which is have a nice solo hot tent overnighter and a canvas tent on the lake with excellent food. So did all that. I had a great time. I wasn't bothered by anybody or anything, which was awesome. No bears, no animals, no wildlife. With all that food, made it pretty lucky. So that is all that I've got for this video. I do have to get the backpack on my back, and I do have to start hiking out of here. I'm not very far this time. I've only got about 2 kilometer hike, and about 1 kilometer of that is down a dirt road, so it's not terrible. And then I'll make it back to my truck and then head home from there. So yeah, pretty good time. I had an excellent time. If you guys do have any questions about anything that I was doing or any of the gear that I had with me, please drop it down in the comment section. And also, I'm dying to hear what you guys thought about my hot tent kind of informational video, my how to get started in hot tenting, I think is what I called it. Definitely looking to hear what you guys thought about this trip and that past video. So I'm going to do a once over, make sure this fire is completely extinguished. I'm going to look for extra tent pegs to see if I left any in the ground. And then it's going to be bag on my back and hit the trail. So peace out guys. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next video.